Hey guys, it's the New York Millennial, and we're back.
Hello. Today our friend Nick here is a little sick, but
It's 6.
it's worth it for this. It'll be okay. He'll
New
be
York.
okay. Just he might cough sometimes, but New York is definitely worth it. So
hmm
we're looking here, and this is kind of interesting. I mean, Hillary's probably gonna win. Like honestly, like that's not. I'm not just completely saying that.
It's a safe bet.
I mean, like what you just said a little while ago. You're saying there's a 2/3 chance she wins,
I'd
one
say
third
I'd
he
say
wins.
2/3 Clinton, yeah, 1/3 Sanders.
And this is
Definitely.
this is also the range we're kind of going for right now. Then I'm gonna talk about the polls in 1 second, but the range we're thinking is he's probably gonna get anywhere between +5 his way or +10 her way. It's probably gonna be anywhere in that range. So I mean, if she wins, it won't be above +10. If he wins, it won't be above +5. But getting into the polls, it looks like there's a few recent ones that show him a little bit closer, but the spread is still +12 her way. But I mean, a poll shows like he's only down by 6. So I mean, the lead was definitely closed in upon a lot from before. Like I mean, he brought it in from like 40 something to 10 or so.
Yeah, that being said, a lot of people are going to wonder, okay, well, why do you think Sanders could potentially get 5? And that's where we're going to go into, well, how did he pull up Michigan in the first place?
That's
Yeah, and
true.
that has to do with phone banking.
Yeah, let
So
me look it
essentially,
up.
there's this Bernie Sanders subreddit. It has like 250,000 people on it who just like phone bank and phone bank and phone bank for him. And whenever they reach their goal, they usually win the state of like phone banking. And whenever they don't reach their goal, they usually lose the state. Now, I'm not saying this is the only factor in him winning or losing, but I'm definitely saying it's something that's like definitely influential. Yeah, and then just even today, they got 90% of their goal, which obviously they'd want 100%, but still, that's pretty much like that's over what their expectations were. So maybe that would help him. I mean, obviously there are plenty of factors that
Yeah.
don't help him at all, but
hmm
maybe.
But I mean, for
Uh,
sure, like 504,000 calls, that's gonna play a big factor, and I think that's the overall goal. But for today, I mean, there's already over 45,000 calls just today, and I mean, even tomorrow, there's gonna be calls. There's gonna be people like just trying to make sure people get out to vote and everything. And as long as turnout is pretty good, which I mean, right now it's looking like things. I mean, if you saw like his rallies, Bernie's rallies, he pulled out like a record number. It was like 28,000 something in New York City, and it was literally like record. It beat Obama's record. Like I don't know if he set the record, but he definitely just had insanely high turnout on his rallies. Which I mean,
yeah,
that doesn't mean all of them are gonna go. Like I mean, probably all of them are gonna go vote, but that doesn't necessarily like make a generalization.
hmm
But I mean, there's a lot of like like everyone really wants to see New York go his way. Like there's a lot of energy here right now.
I agree. And he also has momentum. Again, I'm not really a big fan of the momentum argument because he had momentum going to March 15th, and he just kind of got swept. So
That is true.
yeah,
It's pretty crazy though. I mean, at the end of the day, if he loses here, it's not that he's over. Like I mean, I'm still gonna be just as active as I am for him. I mean, we're still gonna like keep doing these predictions and thinking about it, but it's gonna be a lot harder for him to win the nomination if he doesn't win
yeah.
here. I mean, of course, just closing this gap by a lot, as long as he keeps it within like 5, it's gonna be possible. It's just now he has to do even better in these other places.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we shouldn't count him out if he loses, but
I think what actually I've been thinking. I'm not. I'm just going to touch on this very briefly because if we are going to talk about it, I think it should be like a whole new video. But the Panama Papers,
mhm,
basically in Panama, there's this whole scandal about like people like making fake businesses to like have huge tax breaks,
mhm,
and like the Clintons, if they're involved heavily and there's a scandal,
mhm,
who knows? Obviously, and like he can jump on that. I think a lot of people can as well.
mhm. That of course is saying if they are involved.
If
But I
yeah,
mean, like
that's a
still
big
though,
hail
I
mary.
feel like
Yeah,
people don't really care that. I mean, she played a part in making sure like this was possible. But I mean, I guess that isn't that big of a deal. I mean, she never knew what exactly would happen. I mean,
she
maybe
never
she did,
knew. Yeah.
but I mean, there's nothing you really could call out yet. But it's very possible there might be a link. I mean, stuff is still undergoing like
Yeah.
search. But along with that, I mean, I think from here on out, like if he wins here though, like I feel like if he loses, it's not necessarily over. But I mean, if he wins, it's gonna be pretty big
It
for him.
cracks the race wide
Because
open.
like the thing is,
Wide open.
this is her. Wasn't she like she was something
She
big
was a
here, a
senator.
senator
She
here.
was a senator.
So I mean, if he wins here, it's kind of like winning almost in a home state sort of. Like it's not like necessarily, but it's kind of like that. And even if he gets this close, that's still saying something. So I don't know. He's definitely doing a good job, and I feel like tomorrow, I think he'll beat the polls. I do. I think he'll push it in close to winning. I think he'll probably lose, but it'll be
I
pretty
think
close.
realistically he'll probably lose by like between 0 and 5. He'll lose that by that much.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of in the middle of our range, so I mean it makes
Yeah.
sense. He'd lose about that, but I mean hopefully he can push to that 5. Because I mean he's done it before. He could do it again.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys come for the next one.